We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast on uh, building strong men. And so my mind is racing today. It's like, holy cow. Like there's just so much of so much. Um, so did either of you have anything you wanted to share before I dive into my stuff?
No,
I
So
think I'm
why
good.
does it take so long for people to process things, do you both think? I mean, now it goes off into this separate thing. Anyways, let's jump into it. So, do you or anyone you know lack confidence?
yeah,
Yes.
So, do you know what the three C's are?
no.
So, I don't either.
No.
But I might be able to come up with it. Consistency. So, this is for Victor. So, there's a number of people that went ahead and wondered why am I investing time into Victor? Like, why am I doing that? And so most people are lazy. Do you know what I mean by that?
I think so.
I think so.
What do you mean? What do I mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
So they just want easy. They wanna feel. They want to feel. It's all about feelings. It's the quantum feeling thing. Like it's all about feelings. About feeling. Want to feel like they're impacting somebody's life. Oh, like if I was a therapist or something, I would want just to have people and I would screen them and I would want just people who wanted therapy, wanted help. And and there's nothing wrong with this. This is very important. Very, very important. Like if you're feeling attacked or you're feeling like he's attacking me or somebody I know, well then you move yourself into a position that is not a good position to be in. And what position is that? It's a position of a child. You're moving yourself into a position as a child, a 3 year old. That's what you're doing. So, why is that not a good situation to do around me? Because if you're acting like a child, I'm going to have to go ahead and treat you. I mean, in the past, now I don't even care about children. Doesn't matter. Anyways, that's later in the program. So, but you take the hardest one. And if you can go ahead and take the hardest one, I'm not saying Victor's the hardest. I'm just not. I don't think he's that hard at all. I mean, not compared to the other people. So, first thing I'm trying to teach Victor is consistency. So, in men, being powerful men, build consistency. I can't get it in Kenny. I can't get it in Luke. I can't get it in Jason, and I can't get it in Ben. So, I can't get it in these men, but I'm starting to get it in Victor. And so, do any of you know why men won't show up for this podcast consistently?
Because they're lazy.
Okay. I won't disagree with that.
Because they're not confident in where they're at.
I won't disagree with that either.
Because they're busy doing other things instead of
What are they doing on a 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning?
either hunting or sleeping.
Right? Or they could be doing ATVing or something fun. So they're doing something fun or they're sleeping. Those are the two options that they have. And so what they do is, those others that I listed, Kenny, Luke, Jason, and Ben, let's say these 4 men, they have women who protect them. It's fascinating. So consistency, the second C is consideration. So women want men to consider one person and one person only. And who is that? It's the women. Yeah, it's the women. Now you might say, well, Mark, that's not true. I'm a woman and I want Kenny, Luke, Jason. Like I want Ben, I want them to consider my children. But your children are a part of you. They really don't count. You're wired as a woman to care for your children. It's not like, oh my goodness, you care for your children. Oh, that's a big thing. It's really not that big of a deal. Unless you're what? A drug addict. Because a drug addict woman will go ahead and not care for her children. She just won't, because she's a drug addict. She will exchange drugs. And literally, there's moms out there that go ahead and sell their daughters or sons, but mostly daughters, into trafficking to get drugs. Think about what must happen if you're a woman. Think about what must happen to your brain to take that precious little girl and have her be raped 30 times a day so you can have drugs. Now, any women listening to this are probably like, man, I'm glad I'm not that woman. But aren't you? Like, in God's eyes, are you? Interesting question, right? Like, this goes deep fast. So the first is consistency, I think. The second is consideration. And consideration is not what we think it is, especially as women. It's not. What do you mean by that, Mark? Right? Good question. See, I've thought about this for decades. Like, it's fascinating to me when I see my wife now 41 years and my 4 daughters. It's fascinating to me on how they think and how they think, and how all the women around them think, and they surround themselves with other women who think like they think. That way they all think the same, mostly. And if a woman thinks differently than other women, what happens to that woman? We're not thinking all today. It's okay.
He's ousted.
He's ousted. She's pushed out. Were you going to say something, Nora?
I was gonna say she's alone.
Yeah. Yep. Now, if she's a child, okay, if she's a child, if she thinks like a child and she's alone, what's going to happen if she's a child? She thinks like a child.
She's going to look for ways to get attention.
Okay. So she wants to not be alone. She wants to be around. She can't be alone. She has to be with other people because she's thinking like a child. So here's a great question. You don't have to answer this, but you can think about it. Like, if an adult's acting like a child, do you go ahead and treat them like a child, or do you consider them as a child? Do you care for them as a child? Now, so the first is consistency. The second is consideration. And, I didn't write it down. Oh, it's not cognition. Competency. The third is competency. My guess is there's going to be a lot more C's, but 3 is easy. And so most men should be able to handle 3. And so consistency. And so what I'm doing is I'm going back and trying to think, okay, like if you can teach a child consistency, then they can learn anything. If you can teach a child to consider other people, and consideration of other people is understanding different personalities. So it's understanding different personalities. How you consider different personalities is really important. When they talk about the golden rule, when they talk about the golden rule, treat other people the way that you want to be treated, that doesn't work for people like me. It just doesn't. It never has. And, fortunately, when I was 23 years old, I was introduced. I mean, it was before then, but I was introduced deeply because I was promoted into management, and I treated people the way I want to be treated, and it didn't work. It did not work to treat other people the way I want to be treated. Golden rule doesn't work for people like me. Now, it does work for the other 3 personalities, but it doesn't work for my personality. Really, Mark?
Why? Why?
Fascinating. Because,
Why?
see, it works for the amiable. They treat everybody and they're nice to everybody except you. Not to out the amiables. They're super nice people, loving, beautiful people. But who's the one person the amiable doesn't go ahead and treat nice, doesn't treat well? There's one person. Everybody else they treat well, but one person they don't. Who's the one person?
Their spouse.
The driver.
Their spouse. They don't treat their spouse well. My dad was a pastor his whole life. He was an amiable, analytic, amiable. And, my mom would call me crying. Like, she's 70 years old. From 70, 75 years old, she would call me crying, and she'd say, Mark, Dad's mistreating me. I'm like, okay, honey, Mom, what's he doing? And she'd tell me, and it's not physical. So if it was physical, I'd have jumped in. Like, it would have happened. But mental, it's like, I don't know. Emotional, I don't know. I don't know. And so I said to my 3 brothers, and it's fascinating because it's as soon as he retired. Before then, like, I don't know. But he retired, and, and so I'm on a phone call. Now, my 3 brothers, like, they don't want to hear this podcast. Why not? Because it reveals who they are. And so, every Sunday I'd talk with my 3 brothers for, I don't know. So 4 of us would talk for a couple hours. And I said to my 3 brothers, and they're all devout Christian, really strong men, like capable men. Like, man, these guys are strong dudes and good Christians. Oh my goodness. Like, my oldest brother, Vern, he's a CPA. And he's just, he gives money. He's generous. Oh my goodness, so generous. Just ask my youngest brother how generous he is. Like, wow. Vern's generous. He's known for his generosity. And devout Christian, oh my goodness. My brother Dan, I don't know if he's as devout Christian, as my brother Vern. And my youngest brother Ken, he was a pastor for 10 years, so he's got to be. So I say to my 3 brothers, I'm like, hey guys, like mom's saying Dad's mistreating her. He's emotionally abusing her. And they're like, well, that's not what we're hearing. I'm like, well, you guys aren't paying attention then. Like, you guys are not paying attention. And my brother Dan, he's freaking smart. Man, that dude, he really is. Actually, my oldest brother and Dan, both of them, and then my youngest sister, man, they got the brains of the family. My youngest sister, she's a medical doctor. Anyways, so Dan says, Mark, like I am so stupid. Like I just don't get things. Like my international speaking coach, I asked her, I'm like, why do best-selling authors, of marriage books, why are they divorced 3 times? And why are best-selling authors, in financial management bankrupt 4 times? She laughed. She says, Mark, you're so naive. I'm like, I really am. I'm like a 3-year-old. She's like, because the masses they want to feel, they want to feel, if you want to make a lot of money, like Tom said that one of his college professors said that the masses are asses. Like they're just stupid. And you can make a lot of money off of them. Anyways, so she's like, the masses want to have you, they want to feel. It's all about feelings. It's all about feelings. And so my brother Dan, he goes and says, well, Mark, have you ever thought that mom's telling you a different story than she's telling, everybody else? And I'm like, no, like it had never crossed my mind. Like I had never thought, why would she tell me different than she's telling everybody else? That makes no sense. Like I'm like, dang, like, that can't be true. So, and my mom was one of the closest people to me. I call my mom I hang up, call my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I was talking to the 3 brothers. She's like, yep. And I said, I told them how Dad's mistreating you. And she's like, okay. And I said, Dan said, Mark, do you think Mom's telling you a different story than she's telling us? And I'm like, I never thought of that, Mom. Are you telling me a different story that you're telling the 3 other brothers? And she's like, I am. I'm like, Mom, I love her because she was honest. Like, hello. She's like, I am. I'm like, why? She's like, you're the only one who cares. Dale Williams, the pastor of Emmanuel Baptist Church, she didn't tell him because he and my dad were best buddies. See, the Amiables, what they do is they hang out with a bunch of other non-caring people, but they all pretend to care. But they don't. They don't care about anybody other than themselves. They just don't. They just don't. They do not. I was thinking in my sleep last night about Cindy Bishop. So she was an Action Vision. She was an Action Vision coach, and I went around the virtual room and I asked everybody for suggestions. And this was probably, I don't know, 20 years ago. And she went ahead and I said, ask everybody, what would be one suggestion? And she said, to care less, Mark. I mean, when I was 24 years old, 23, 24, and I lost my first salesperson, tears started running down my face. And Tony Davis said, Mark, buddy, you're never going to make it in sales and management. Like, you just won't. You can't care so much. John Nicholson, he was leading up the Action Vision division, I don't know, probably 30 years ago. And he went to our church. He was an amiable analytic. He wanted to be a pastor or a chaplain. And after, I don't know, 3 months, he went ahead and he laughed and he said, Mark, nobody at the church, the one I grew up in, the one I was a part of for over 20 years, the one that kicked me out, nobody did anything. I mean, my dad, stood up and said, I don't agree with what you're doing with Mark. And then he sat down, which is at least he said, did that get in the minutes? Probably not. and John Nicholson said, he laughs. He says, Mark, nobody understands you at church. I'm like, okay. He's like, I said, what does that mean? He says, it's weird because at church, nobody thinks you care. He says, you're maybe the most caring person I've ever met in my life. He says, what's weird, Mark, is nobody thinks you care and you care like crazy. He said, everybody thinks I care and I don't. I mean, he said that. And then he went on to become a pastor. Of course he would. Like, of course he would. And the analytic, they only care. So the amiable just cares about their feelings and cares about how people think of them. And, they want everybody except their spouse. They don't care about their spouse. They just don't. It's okay. Just admit it. Just be honest. The analytic, all they care about is their ego, being right. It's fascinating to be in friendships with these people. Sheepers. It's amazing on how they niggle. It's the littlest detail. So they're concerned about their ego and being right. That's what they're concerned about. That's what they care about, themselves. It's just all about themselves. The expressive, they care, all about fun and excitement and energy and passion and people thinking that they're fun and cool people. That's what they care about. I don't know very many drivers. I can't say, so my daughter, just a week ago, my oldest daughter, we were going around the virtual room. I said, what do you like most about me? And she said, how much you care. I said, what do you like least about me? She said, how much you care. So here's an interesting, fascinating question. Like, what if an adult somehow got damaged in childhood and they're really not an adult? They're just a little girl. They're just a little boy. Mike, how do you just not care for, like, this year? So this year is the year of growing. 2026 is the year of growing. I'm so excited. And one of the things I'm going to grow in is I don't care about anything. I'm going to learn how not to care about anything. That's what I'm going to learn. So through 2026, I'm going to learn, don't care about anything. Yep, even as a Baptist, people going to hell, I don't care. I'm going to be like the devout Christians. I'm going to be like the pastors. They don't care. If you're a devout Christian or you're a pastor, you're like, oh! Like, all kinds of drama. Like, you don't want to hear me. It's okay. But think about it. I mean, what I'm saying is interesting, right? Like, it's so fascinating. Just think about it. Just think about what's being said. So you say you care, you think you care, you get everybody else to think you care. But when you walk by somebody on the street, do you go ahead and do you have compassion for them? Consideration? Like, do you talk that you care about somebody going to hell, but you actually don't do something about it? Like, it's fascinating. We could go, but we won't. And so 2026, I'm going to just not care about anybody, even people going to hell. I don't care. Doesn't care. Doesn't matter. I don't care about anything. Now, the thing that's fascinating to me is I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody, I don't care. I don't care about you. I don't care about your kids. I don't care if you're going to hell. I don't care if your kids are going to hell. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I just don't care about anything. I'm going to be honest. I wonder if God's going to go ahead and give me a hug and say, Mark, you're the only person of the 8 billion people that actually was honest about not caring. Like, at least it'll be honest. Then it gets harder. In 2027, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to trick myself into caring. Like, that I care. I'm going to trick myself. I think I already have some strategies on it. I'm going to trick myself. I'm going to not care like I did in 2026, like everybody else does. I'm going to not care, but I'm going to trick myself into caring. So I think I care even though I don't. And then 2028, the ultimate test. I have 2 years of building up. So the first year, I really don't care. I don't care about anything, anyone, anything at all. 2027, I'm going to trick myself into thinking I'm a caring person. And in 2028, I'm going to go ahead and seek to trick everybody else into thinking that I'm a caring person. Now, I personally don't think it's that hard to trick people. All you got to do is just tell them what they want to hear. That'll trick them. Just say some nice things to them. That'll trick them. It's easy to trick them. It's so easy because they want to be tricked, because that way they don't have to go ahead and face their own stuff. They're carrying, you're carrying, everybody's carrying. A 3-year journey. My gracious. You know, it's fascinating because like 2020 was the year of carrying. I think I said something to Tom Kuntz once. He said, he's like, I think I said that, yeah, I was going to shift to where I didn't care or something. He's like, no, Mark, don't do it. Why not? And it's like, because it's not you. Yeah. So, questions, Nora, thoughts? Pretty cool, huh?
Interesting.
What's, what's interesting?
So how is that supposed to build strong men?
What's that?
The not caring.
Oh, they got that down. You don't have to teach them that. They don't give a rip. Oh,
Right,
you
but it's
got
like
that down.
how are we?
Oh, they got it down. Just go ahead and teach the women. Just teach the women. You're no more caring than the men are.
Yeah, but how is that building strong men?
Do you think you want strong men around you, Nora?
Yeah.
Do you have any strong men around you, Nora?
I would say a couple.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think do you think you control those couple?
No.
Really? Do you think those couple strong men around you, do you think that they would get on a 7 o'clock, podcast? Well, do you think they'd get on those couple strong men, do you think they'd get on a podcast with me? Yeah, I don't think so either.
Probably.
Yeah, no, no, not a chance. Not a chance in the world. How come you're so confident, Mark? Well, because probably I don't know those strong men, most likely. And two is Nora would ask them. And when she'd ask them in such a way that she would move them, not manipulate, because you can't manipulate. She would move them to where they wouldn't join. She she wouldn't control. Well, she would control them. She would control them like a puppet, and they wouldn't come on. That's what would happen. So women, you don't want strong men around you. I mean, you want them strong in some areas, but not others. So you want to gain the benefits that come from having a strong man, but around you, but you want to control the whole thing. You just do. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Just acknowledge I don't want strong men around me, which is fine because you can't control them and you want to control them. It's wired into you. It's like Eve. Like like in the Bible, the curse is that you're going to desire your husband. You're going to desire your husband. Men want to think that sexually. It's not. It's a desire. You look at the original language, it's a desire to control a man. And that's what you desire. And you can do it for a period of time. And then it runs out. You run out of runway. Then you wonder, why do these things happen? It's not a mystery to me. Questions?
Nope.
What are you thinking now?
What's the difference between control and consideration?
Oh, in a woman, it's all in the same. That's women, women. You control men like you do a child, and you can do it because you're not honest with men. You see stuff in men, but you're not honest with them, and they're not honest with you. You tell them what they want to hear, and you got them. You got them hooked, and you control them like an ox with a ring through its nose. It's what it is. And it's fine as long as you and the men around you know. So it's consideration. It's consideration what? I thought you said they were strong. I thought you were confident they were strong. You know they're not.
So no,
Yeah.
the guys I'm talking about, like, so if they're strong, then they're not considerate.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You don't want them to go ahead and have a conversation with me, a podcast with me. You just don't. And
What
I get it
makes you so confident in that?
because you can't do it. You won't be able to get them on. I mean, you can get them to do probably anything else for you, but you can't get them on for 30 minutes for a 30-minute conversation, a podcast. You can't do it. You don't have the capacity to. And what you do is your mind has already shifted. It's already done a mind shift. Well, the reason I'm not getting them on is because of consideration. Consideration, I thought they were strong.
No, that's not what I was thinking.
Who are you considering?
I'm talking if, like, with men and women, like, couples, the women controlling the men, when is it men being considered, not being controlled by the women, but just being considerate of them?
Well, right, treat them like a child, right? Like you go ahead and preach, but you don't practice what you preach. You're a hypocrite. And it's fine
Okay.
as long as you know you're a hypocrite. It's okay. Just like I don't want somebody to treat me like a child, even if I'm acting like a child, but I'm going to treat the men like children, even the strong men. I'm going to treat them like children. So you don't do what you're preaching.
I'm not following. Can you?
So in a coffee connection, there's two men and they're talking, and you won't speak, even though you have something. You're being considerate of those two men. Well, one of them, you don't want to emasculate him. You don't want to make him look bad in front of the other. Two is, I don't know, maybe business, maybe if it was just that one man and another man, the one who talked afterwards, maybe you would have, maybe you wouldn't have. But you don't rise up. You don't go ahead and fly. You have to fly low because you don't want to be alone. I mean, in Ford versus Ferrari, you go ahead and are moved because somebody's holding back. But you would hold back because you want somebody with you. You don't want to cross the finish line alone. You don't want to be alone.
Which is why I'm divorced now. Makes sense.
Help me understand that.
Because I didn't back down and slow down for Ryan,
Right.
which is contradicting what you just said.
No, it's not actually. You thought 6 years ago that you could go ahead and help him to grow. You thought you could help him become. You saw something in him that he didn't see in himself. What you did is you missed some key pieces, which is, again, right, stuff happens. Like, how are you supposed to know at the age of 24 years old? How does a 24-year-old woman know you're not going to change him? He's not going to grow. Right? I mean, I get it. My heart goes out to you. Probably goes out to him more than you. Because that poor guy, like, he's a mess. And his parents are even a bigger mess. The whole family. The whole family and the whole community that they're involved with. I mean, how do you go ahead? How do you go ahead and look the other way? Like, how do you do that? So for you, you've learned how to do that. Me, maybe this year I'll learn. Just look the other way. Let people go ahead and get abused. Let people get mistreated. Let people go ahead and, yeah, just let them. Just let them. Because, yeah, it's not going to happen again. Really? Jeepers. So, anything else you're thinking, Nora?
No.
Rosanna, thoughts, questions?
What do you think is going to be the benefits of you thinking you not caring?
Okay. Took me a little while to process that. Thank you. I don't care. I don't care if there's any benefits. I don't care. I just don't care. Man, this is going to be hard. This is going to be hard. Do you both have an interesting question?
Obviously not.
Okay. You guys, it's okay. It's early on. Probably haven't had your coffee yet. Me either. Like, so, Mark, I have a curious question. See, this is why, Nora, I don't mind being by myself. Because then there's always something interesting going on. Always something interesting. You know, there's not idle talk, just to go ahead and fill the space. It's just so. Here's an interesting question, Mark. Do you think it's going to be harder on you, or do you think it's going to be harder on the people around you? I mean, that's really the question that you were asking, right, Rosanna?
Sure.
Yeah. Yep. Anything else, Rosanna?
Nope.
Or anything you got? Oh, I can't believe we almost forgot this.
What?
Okay. Are you going to church today, Nora?
Probably.
Okay, good. Me too. But we're going to different churches today. And so, do you think you and Kenny go to church because of me or for your own benefit?
Definitely for my own benefit. I'm not going for anybody else.
Interesting. Well,
It's stressful at church with the kid.
right.
Right.
And that's probably the hardest thing for me not to go to church is because of Lincoln and Mikey and the other grandkids. But gotta learn. Don't care about the kids. Don't care about them. Don't care about them.
Well, they're not your responsibility, so I'm fine with that.
Right. So, I mean, if moms need help, yeah, don't care. Don't care about the moms that, yep, don't care about anything.
So is this not caring stuff? Is this all about you now?
It is. It's all about me. All I care about is myself. All I care about is myself. That's the experiment. And so last week I made a really hard decision. It was fascinating to me. 62 years I've gone to church. 40 years I went to church 3 times a week. For 62 years I've gone at least. I mean, and it's a machine. I mean, it's every single week. I mean, it's not as fanatical as my parents were. So on vacation, yeah, most of the time I don't go to church on vacation, but Other than that, it doesn't matter if I'm sick. It doesn't matter anything. But last week I decided to go to pickleball, the Church of Pickleball, as an experiment. And I've never experienced anything like it ever in my life. I mean, I've been going to this church for 4 years, the one I'm going to now. Before then, and I play pickleball, and I know most of the people that are there, but it's a smaller group, much smaller group. There's like 8 people there, and afterwards, I start talking to 2 guys, and one guy, his dad died. His dad was playing basketball. He and his dad were playing basketball, and his dad, when he was in his 20s, and his dad just collapsed of a heart attack right then and there. Just died right in front of him. He said, "Mark, I have 2 goals." So I've played pickleball with the guy before. He seems to like me. Nice guy. He likes everybody, I think. Nice guy, but we start talking, and I find out he has 2 goals in life. One is to have 1 wife. His wife had a dream the other day that he divorced her. And she got mad at him. She's all ticked. Like, jeepers. Like, I've experienced that, though, before. Like, whoa. But he's not going to get divorced, not from her, because he has a goal. He wants 1 wife, and that's it. And the other goal that he has is he wants his children to go ahead and choose to be his friend when they get older. And I wonder if I had that goal, if my life would have been different. Better, worse, I don't know. So we're talking about his dad dying and about his goals and all of these things. And then another guy goes and, we're talking about, I don't know, church or something. And they're like, the church people are so judgmental, and they're this and this, and they're trashing on church people, Christians. I'm like, I'm not disagreeing with them. And this one guy that his dad died, he works at a nonprofit organization, and they help teachers. All around the area to deal with stress and burnout and all kinds of stuff. And so I'm going to write a workbook for teachers, and I'm going to impact tens of thousands of kids. Because a lot of those kids don't have a crazy, amazing mom like my friend Lincoln does. She is an amazing mom. Amazing heart. I look at that kid, that little guy, and I think, what would his life be like if he didn't have a mom like he has? And so afterward, afterwards, there's these 2 guys who were talking for 45 minutes. And I've been playing pickleball there for a year and know both of these guys. And one guy, he's a cattle farmer. Or for 10 years ago, he switched, but before that, he was a cattle farmer. He knew all kinds of breeds and stuff. They were talking. I didn't know what they were talking about, different types of stuff. Nora would probably. I don't. And it was just interesting. And at the end, he's like, "I don't care. I'm going to give you both hugs." Never had it at church. Never had anything ever had anything happen like that in 62 years. 62 years, and I've never had that happen in my life. The church we go to now, which I obviously am not going to name, I've had every one of their pastors, every single one. They have 5 pastors. Every single one of their pastors have said that they were going to do something, and they haven't done it. They haven't followed through. Oh, curious, Rosanna. in 41 years of marriage, is there anything that can come to your mind? Anything, and don't be nice for sure. Is there anything in 41 years of marriage that I said I was going to do that I haven't done?
I can't think of anything.
If you do, come back next week. Think about it for a week, and come back next week. My good friend Kenny, I asked him that question. I've known him for 4 years, and I asked him that question. It was really cool. He actually had something that he thought I said I was going to do that I didn't do, and I can totally see. I mean, I remember the conversation. I can totally see why he thought that I said I was going to do it. I didn't think I said I was going to do it, but I can see how he did, so it's going to get done. I feel terrible about that. Excited that there's actually somebody in my life that actually, cares enough to say, yeah, you said this, and it's going to get done. So it'd be fascinating, Rosanna. So I wonder if wives, next time somebody says something to you and says, do you think that every woman would want a husband like your husband? You can say, well, honestly, a lot of times I don't like the guy. He is a pain in the butt. I don't like him. But in 41 years of marriage, there's not one time in 41 years of marriage that he's ever said he was going to do something he didn't do. Ever. Not once. The guy is a machine with integrity. It's insane. And so, and if I did come up with something, he wouldn't defend it, deny it. He wouldn't do the 9 Ds. He wouldn't try to go ahead and rationalize it. He'd just go ahead and try to understand what's being said. And then once he understood what's being said, then he'd follow through. So do women want husbands like that? Honestly, I'm not sure. It seems like maybe not. I don't know. So anyways, as promised, this one went over. Sorry. Normally they're half an hour. Normally they're half an hour, but this one, wow. Glad we got it all in. I don't know if we got it all in, but this was a good one. A 5-star without question. So if you have any questions, connect with the individual. And if you're a control freak, a man or a woman, do not pass this along to other people for sure. Make the decision for them. Treat them like children. Treat them like children. Not going to give this podcast to anybody. Going to treat them like a child. But I mean, I don't know. This brings, I think this is doing life. You don't sit in some pew, sit back, and I'm not going to say it's spiritual masturbation. Not going to say that. I'm just saying that it's just, this is real. This is real life, having conversations back and forth. It's just, so if you have any questions on anything, we covered, I'm not saying you should agree. You can disagree, totally disagree. It doesn't matter, but have a real conversation with somebody. Say, you know what? There's a lot of truth to what Mark's saying, or not. I don't care. It doesn't matter, right? I don't care. Look, it's working. So if you have any questions, connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session, or you can call toll-free 888-230-2300. Outside the U.S., 630-393-9909. I do have some amazing coaches that are helping me not to care, teaching me not to care, and teaching me to think that I care when I really don't care, and coaches that are teaching me to not care, think I care, and convince everybody else that I'm a caring person. So if you'd like to be one of those coaches too, again, toll free 888-230-2300, outside the U.S. 630-393-9909. Always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.